I'm Dr. Gurpreet Padda, and if you've been told you're too young for a joint replacement, you've been handed a sentence to wait in pain. As a lifelong outsider in medicine, I notice what the system says quietly and then drops. This advice is honest, but it's left dangling. The industrial medical model treats you like an assembly line part that isn't quite broken enough to replace yet. They want you to wait in a literal limbo. It's as if your only job now is to age into eligibility for an operation. That's not a plan. It's a failure of imagination and a waste of your most valuable window. Pain is not a diagnosis. It is a signal. And right now your body is signaling that the biological soil of your joint is under attack. You heard enough that surgery is on the table, yet you're told to endure. No plan, no guidance, just years of your life ticking away in red on a calendar. That is demoralizing. But I'm here to tell you that this waiting period isn't dead time. It is the most valuable window you will ever have to preserve that joint. The promise I'll show you the real reason surgeons delay, why that reasoning argues for acting now, just not with a scalpel, and the metabolic strategy to fix the terrain. We are turning your waiting window into an aggressive preservation campaign. You don't have to just get older, you can get better. Let's look at the logic behind the delay. It's sound but incomplete. Joint replacements don't last forever. They are mechanical parts in a biological system. In registry data, about 72% of knee replacements were still working at 25 years. That sounds good until you do the math on your lifespan. The younger you are at your first replacement, the more likely you'll outlive it. And revision surgeries? They are technically harder and less reliable. Surgeons want to spare you a lifetime of reoperations. But follow that logic to its real conclusion. If the goal is to protect your native joint, why wait for it to fail? The waiting window is exactly when you should be aggressively preserving and regenerating your tissue, not passively letting it degrade in the shadows. Every day you wait without a plan, you are losing cartilage, losing bone density, and increasing systemic inflammation. You are becoming a worse candidate for the eventual surgery. Now the non-obvious economic irony, the system will tell you to wait, but it won't fund the work that makes waiting worthwhile. Why? Because there's no code for it. There is no reimbursement engine behind preserving your joint for 15 years with metabolic care. The system is designed to wait until you generate a surgical bill. You are sent home to degrade on your own, then welcomed back when you're finally sick enough. This is an economic blind spot you must fill yourself. This is about metabolic sovereignty, taking back control of your biology from a system that only values your pathology once it's ripe for an operation. Step 1. Get the metabolic workup. We need to look at the biological soil, your LDLP, TNF-alpha, and IL-6. We need to know why the joint is degenerating. If your terrain is inflammatory, a new metal joint won't fix the underlying fire. You must address the meta-inflammation driven by visceral fat and glucotoxicity. You must cut the acellular carbohydrates and industrial seed oils. These are the fuel for the fire in your joints. We are cleaning the terrain for regeneration. Your diet is the strongest metabolic predictor of chronic pain. We use the Mediterranean and DASH protocols not for weight loss, but for mast cell stabilization. Step 2, pursue regenerative options. We use orthobiologics, PRP, MFAT, and platelet lysate to support the cartilage you still have. Precision is mandatory. We don't just poke the joint. We use ultrasound guidance and power Doppler to deliver biologics exactly where they can trigger mechanotransduction and repair. We look at peptides, the Wolverine stack of BPC 157 and GHK copper to modulate gene expression and collagen synthesis. This is clinical reanimation. We restore mitochondrial function with MOTS-C and SS-31. If your cells don't have energy, they cannot heal. We are waking up the repair mechanism. Step 3, build the strength around the joint. Muscle is the organ of longevity and your primary metabolic sink. It is your structural insurance policy. Preventing sarcopenia is essential for structural integrity. We offload the joint by building the protective movement capacity that the medical model ignores. We use whole body vibration and class 4 lasers targeting cytochrome C oxidase. We are using physics to drive biology via the Arendt-Schultz law. This isn't alternative, it's mechanotransduction. We are using targeted energy to reset the sympathetic nervous system and stimulate the windlass mechanism. Step 4, track your digital biomarkers. We use Measura.ai to monitor your HRV, sleep patterns, and movement cycles. We need objective data, not just feelings. We track your function over time. The goal is simple. Arrive at any future surgery as late as possible in the best metabolic shape of your life or not at all. Imagine walking into that surgeon's office in 10 years with a joint that functions better than it does today. That is the power of the preservation window. Science backs this up. Research shows that diet composition alone can reduce osteoarthritis pain independent of weight loss. You have leverage you're not using. To the pain refugee wandering the halls of orthopedic clinics, you are not crazy, and you are not just a collection of x-rays. You are a biological system. Concussions are functional injuries. Chronic pain is a systemic signal. We address the trigeminal mast cell axis and the gut-brain pain axis together. I'll confess, I used to think the assembly line medical model worked. I spent 30 years inside it, but I realized it wasn't designed to heal, it was designed to bill. I reject the industrial model. I left it to build Regen.MD because you deserve a clinical commander who fights for your metabolic sovereignty, not just your next copay. Too young for a replacement is the best preservation window you'll ever get. Turning that window into active regeneration is the most aggressive act you can take. At Regen.MD, we specialize in making your native joint last. We fix the terrain so your body can do what it was meant to do, regenerate and thrive. If you've been told to wait, book a consultation. Let's make the wait count. Let's look at your METS-VF and your VAI and build your customized Regen.MD stack. Stop managing your pain. Stop waiting for the degradation to reach a surgical threshold. Start regenerating your life and your freedom today. Remember, pain is not a diagnosis, it is a signal. Fix the terrain. I'm Dr. Gurpreet Padda, and I'll see you at Regen.MD. Stop managing, start regenerating. Visit Regen.MD to begin your journey toward metabolic sovereignty.